Most annoying question.
In life, or
You know what I'm capable of.
I'm not scared of you.
You should be.
What is happening to me?
There are people with powers beyond belief.
I need help!
They call themselves Inhumans. And one team has vowed to protect them
Come with us. Your life is in danger.
at any cost, against anything. Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I mean, you know, who knows? I mean, I think the intention was that, you know, we were leaving for good. I think the expectation was that. So, you know, the door's always open. I guess the answer is who knows, and if I did know, I wouldn't be able to tell you anyway. So. Do you want to go?
Favorite moment? That's a tough one. I've got a lot of happy memories. I suppose the back half of season 3, I got a lot more storyline, so that was obviously more enjoyable as an actor to explore. I got to do some really cool stuff throughout the course of my time on the show, and without spoiling things for people who haven't seen, I got to shoot some pretty cool scenes in the finale of season 3.
Yeah, I think probably like first getting out to LA, and it was all very kind of rapid. I was shooting something in the UK, and so I wasn't able to go out to screen test or anything because the schedule was too. In fact, at one point they were going to fly me out. I was going to do the audition and just go straight back to the airport and fly back to England, but they kind of went, no, that's insane. So because I had like one day off filming in the UK that I could have done it. So I wrapped on this show in London, I think at like 8 o'clock at night, went to bed, got up at 4, got on a plane, got picked up, landed in LA, got picked up, driven to set, and then was straight into costume and makeup, and then shortly after that was upside down in the car with Xena the Warrior Princess. So it's kind of that was really fun, and in the second episode I was up in a helicopter, which I really enjoyed. But a lot of the best stuff is things which aren't on screen, isn't it? It's just when you're
set,
you're dicking around with friends on set, and everyone's getting a little bit bored, so you're just trying to make each other laugh. But a lot of it's meeting people that you really care about and you respect, and you develop friendships with. That's been. Yeah. I got sent all the Lance Hunter stuff, so got to see all that, which was it's a very different Lance Hunter to what's in the show. It's kind of their own version of Lance Hunter, but yeah, it was a world which I wasn't too kind of aware of beyond the films and so on. So yeah. I think Luke's had a good old read the Inhuman stuff.
Yeah, I obviously had to do my research with all the Inhuman stuff, and it was also so it was nerve-wracking, to kind of be one of the first representatives of Inhumans on screen, but then also maybe not quite so much pressure as if my character was in the comics. So because he was made specifically for the MCU. I don't really know about that. I think I saw something about it. Do you know anything about it?
I think that practically in practical terms, it's a very difficult thing. You've got a series that shoots 22 episodes a year, which is 8.5 months, something like that. A year.
9 months. Yeah.
And then you've got movies that shoot 18 months, 2 years. They take to make. So actually, the practicalities of doing that, of crossing over, I think they're really difficult.
I think they've done pretty well to bring certain characters from the movies into the show, and certainly the show is based on Coulson, who they brought back to life for the show. But I think they've done a really good job to when they can slide someone in.
And they always reference the film in what's happening in the films, and they do this amazing job of tying in storyline that when that episode comes out, it precedes the film, which is going to be released the next week, or is the film comes out and a week after there's references in the show that have been shot 6 months before. But I think just on a practical sense, it's just really difficult because you're asking a $250 million movie to schedule around a TV schedule, and TV schedules are crazy. Like you're shooting, 8 pages a day sometimes. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, an episode gets shot in about 8 days, which when you think about what I couldn't believe it when I first got to set, that you get there and you're like, what? Like every 8 days, that's what you managed to create? Because for me, that's half a film. It's 43 minutes they shoot of a program. That's half a film in 8 days. It's incredible what they do. I've just got back a few weeks ago to the UK, so I'm just kind of having meetings about things. I'm sure Luke's in the same position, and just waiting for the right thing, really. I think I want to make sure that the next thing to do is something I'm really enthusiastic about. I'd love to do a play. I'd really love to do a play.
If
it's fighting and talking.
No, actually, they're horrible scenes to shoot. Look, I think fight scenes are fun to do, but they're incredibly technical. So I think personally, I'd much rather do a dialogue scene, depending on what the scene's about. But generally speaking, the dialogue scene for sure.
And also with the fight scenes, like inevitably, you have stunt doubles because one of an insurance thing that there's certain things which we aren't allowed to do. Secondly, because there's moves quite often that we can't do. Some actors are, like Adrienne particularly is brilliant at all the physical stuff, and she will do as much as she can herself. But there are some things where you go, I can't, like somersault, so I can't do that bit.
There's also a fair bit of pressure on you because of the time element of it.
Yes,
and so
exactly,
if you're doing a fight scene in a movie, you'd probably take a week to shoot it, whereas you're doing a fight scene on S.H.I.E.L.D. in an afternoon, and you just have to get it done. And so it's kind of tough.
I know. I just think like if it's kind of more about what the scene is about. If there's a really strong intention in the scene, a really strong objective of what you're going for, then I don't mind if it's a physical thing or a dialogue scene, really.
I don't know that there's any. I don't know of any full deleted scenes, but there's a lot of little moments that get deleted because
when you're like, this is my bit. I did a really good look then.
You try different things on different takes, and then you watch it back. You're like, oh, that missed out, But then of course there's just bloopers that they cut together a pretty good blooper reel each season, which is really funny. But that doesn't even include all of the mistakes that happen. So a lot of the times we're just laughing.
my favourite, the scene which I was most disappointed that got deleted. There was a bit, I can't remember what we were up to in season 2. There was this bit where we're going off on a mission, and I come around the corner with Coulson and May and like a team of people, and my family were visiting, and my little nephew, who was like 3 at the time, Clark, just went, get Charlie, and we came around the corner, and they had all the cameras, so we were filming it properly, and we just come around, and there's all of us just doing the scene, and there's my little nephew holding hands with us, just going, what's going on? Sadly, that didn't make it to the final cut.
I'd love to, I honestly, I love most of those movies that Marvel makes, and I've said a couple of times the last Civil War movie was just incredible. It was so much fun. So if I got the opportunity, I'd obviously take it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it depends what they were offering money wise. Yeah, I mean, of course, like, you know, you kind of you have to take each job on its merit and sort of wait and see what happens. But yeah, I mean, who knows if that would be a possibility? But you know, it'd certainly be fun. I know you.
Well, I mean, yeah, I've said it a few times, but you know, I love the Hulk. I just, you know, I think he's fantastic, and you know, he's kind of indestructible. So, yeah.
Luke suggested Squirrel Girl for me, so I'm going to go with that.
I think you suggested it last week.
Oh no, someone from the audience suggested.
And then you went, and then you
Squirrel
ran with it.
Girl.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I'll do Squirrel Girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think, I mean, technically you have to have doubles. You know, depending on the difficulty of the stunt, or you know, the part of the fight sequence or whatever. Because you know, if you actually get hit, then you got to stop production. Which actually happened in Tomorrow People. I was rehearsing a fight scene, and I had my head in the wrong spot for the fake uppercut, and it turned into a real uppercut. Next thing you know, I had blood pouring out of my head and had to go to hospital. Got stitched up, taken back to set, and had to keep going because we had to shoot the scene. So I was a little tentative. Sorry, that was a little sidetrack, but an example of why you need doubles on hand just in case. But you know, I do like, you know, getting physical and doing as much as I can personally, and then you know, obviously tucking my ego away from time to time and being like, you know what, I'll let you do this one.
Yeah, same sort of thing with I mean, you do as much as you can, but I'm always happy for the stunt guys to step in and do their bit
and make you look good.
Yeah, and they do. They're amazing, and you know, they put themselves through it.
They really do.
And no, we're very grateful when they do make us look really good. So yeah, you do as much as you can.
Yeah, well, timing is kind of crucial with that sort of stuff.
When I first got on there, we I don't know if did you have fight training with Matt and stuff like?
Not really, because I didn't. My character kind of developed over time.
You did
I wasn't. That, didn't you? Yeah, it was. I didn't do much fighting. It was more just stay away from me or I'll electrocute you. And then they kind of it evolved, and I was able. They kind of introduced the powers into fighting sequences, which was really cool. But yeah, initially it was.
Yeah, I'd have fight training with Matt Mullins, who's the fight coordinator and stuff. And then if you had like a big fight coming up, you'd normally about a week before you'd get rehearsals with the stunt guys. But we did on our final episode on S.H.I.E.L.D. There was that whole fight that we do in like the woods. And in the script it kind of described it as like shadow, you know, we will see the fight in the shadows and everything. And it come up to like the day, it was the last scene we were shooting of that episode, and it was our last final scene and everything. And it was coming up to, I was looking at the schedule and being like, I just kind of was like, oh well, obviously they're just using stunt doubles for that because we've not rehearsed it.
Yeah.
And there's only like 4 hours left of the day. We've still got to shoot this other scene. So I just assumed, oh, they were doing stunt doubles and they were literally just going to watch the shadows and you were just going to see all of the shadows. They were like, no, you guys are doing it. And we just learned it on the hoof really as we were doing it. And for me, it kind of made me realise how much I had learned. And it, like with choreography or dancing, you get the muscle memory, so you get you know where to put, you know, punches, you know where you react to them, and you learn everything in beats. And you're not shooting, you know, you'll probably do a few runs of the whole fight, but generally you're picking up sections of it. So yeah, it was quite nice to go, oh right, yeah, I've really developed in that.
Yeah, I think your body's really good at remembering fight moves, especially when if you don't remember it, you might get punched in the face.
Yeah, it's a good motivation. Yeah.
There's actually surprisingly very little green screen.
It's very expensive green screen.
There's a lot of the special effects are added without a green screen, and only when it's really necessary will they bring a green screen in.
It can be really expensive with green screen, so they don't use it as much. But if there's like some huge expanse, like where the bus and stuff lies, like the
in the
whatever.
hangar.
A lot of that is all built.
And also when you're in the cockpit of the Quinjet, there's green screen because you can't actually be flying. Obviously.
But no, a lot of it we go on location fairly regularly.
Yeah.
And stuff. Yeah.
Most annoying question
In life, or I get. There's no like annoying questions. You get used to certain questions being repeated.
Yeah, like what superpower would you like?
Yeah.
Most like, or who's your favorite Avenger?
No, I'll tell you what is really annoying. What I find really annoying is when you do red carpet interviews, right? So it's different to doing this press stuff because it's more specific about the show. But you go to like an event where it's lots of. It's for like a TV thing, so there's lots of different shows there. And you have to go, so what's it like working on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D? And you just go like, what sort of a question is that? What is it like
It's a
working on
generic.
S.H.I.E.L.D? And then just go, like one time like this guy was like, so what was it like coming in season 2 after season 1? And I was
Like that's right.
I wasn't in season 1. And you go like, fair enough. They've got to interview 20 or 30 different people. They can't have watched all of the shows, but you just go, this is so pointless because you don't care, I don't care, and I can't imagine people watching care either. So why are we doing this?
Yeah.
But that's the red carpet stuff where you get people interview that clearly have no idea
They haven't done
who
their
you
research.
are, what show you're on.
Yeah,
you just feels like, what's the point?
I was asked what it was like to being on Agent Carter, and I was like,
Oh man,
I don't know.
I'll tell you like the worst. So at the Civil War premiere, Henry, who plays Mac, gets interviewed by this girl and goes, and she's going, so your show, it's great with diversity. It's so great to see, black faces on, shows. And he has this whole long conversation with her about diversity in the show, and he was saying, it's how important it is to him that there's racial diversity.
Oh,
and
I think
this,
I know where this is going.
This conversation goes on for like 5 or 10 minutes, and she goes, so when's the next season of Empire coming out? Like,
how did Henry react?
and apparently he just went oh, you think we all look the same? It was like,
Oh my god!
you couldn't write it. But I mean, bless her, it's hard. I understand those people, particularly sometimes on the red carpet as well. Sometimes it's live feeds, so they have to be on it the whole. And you know how hard it is. You've got to interview people. It can be difficult, and you never know what they're going to say.
Sometimes,
But with that, to have a conversation about diversity and then mistake him for something, and he doesn't even.
Henry's very good natured though,
Oh,
so
he's
it
great,
was he took it very well.
But yeah, that was. I mean, you couldn't write.
I've seen that confused him for Lawrence Fishburne or something like that, and he just went on a rant. It's cringeworthy to watch because he just doesn't let it go. And the reporter's white, and he's just like, I'm sorry, man. Anyway, and then Samuel Jackson just keeps going and going, and it's live, and it's like, ah.
Oh my god.